Hey, Weed and Freak 976 here with the truth, and this one's about the Tea Party. The real agenda of these right-wing libertarian teabaggers who, this is a video for Miss Lisa, vampirist on the prowl, and a good buddy of mine who I forgot to mention in the Great Americans Who Want Their Country Back, and that's you, Mr. Louis Riggy. Sorry about that. One of my favorite vloggers, folks. Sub him, subscribe him, watch his videos. Anyway, he knows it. He's good. He's great. Anyway, this is what about the real agenda of the Tea Party. But there's a little something special I got to tell the Tea Party later. I found something. I really dug and did info on this video, and I will put the link below so that people can see this. It's not going to be good for the Tea Party, though. Their heads will go boom. Anyway, who are the Tea Partiers? Well, just to make it short, 59% men, 41% women. They're white, 89% of white. Two-thirds of them earn over $50,000 a year, 56%, $50,000 to $100,000, and over $100,000, 20%. The majority of them are 45 years and older, 79%, 75%. 54%, the majority of them are Republican, and they're conservative, 75%. Okay, now, get this, though. This is from CBS, Gallup, New York Times poll, blah, blah, blah. Do you think you're being taxed fairly? 52%. Too much? 42%. Everybody's like, what was that all about? They don't think that this is about race. And explain, what are you mad about? Majority of them, 62%, say, leave Medicare, Social Security, and Medicaid alone. So what's this about? No, that's the poor, Tea Partiers and them. But it's just, I mean, it's just, that's government assistance. When they say we hate government assistance, what the hell are you talking about? A lot of them have a negative view on food stamps. Well, get this. Yes, 46 million Americans are on food stamps now, as of 2011. Who gets them, though? 93% live below the poverty line. As of 2009, well, actually, it's in 2011, it's a little higher, actually, now, but 2009, 48% of people who got, the majority of people, one group that got the most food stamps, and I want people to listen to this. Kids. Kids. 8% were seniors. 56% were either kids or seniors. Well, a lot of teabaggers say over 78% of them over 80% of them associate themselves with some sort of religion. You don't practice it because who gets hit the most if food stamps were to get cut? Who else? The elderly and the poor, 93% below poverty line, and kids, children, pro-life, right? Number of people who need assistance are starving. Again, USDA who put out an article on food stamps, but also did an article on poverty, people who are hungry. 50 million people and 17 million children cannot get the adequate food they need. That's for you smaller government people out there. Yeah. Cut spending. Good idea. Listen to this. Conservative hypocrisy. Food stamps are hands out to the lazy until I need them. And this is from alternate.org blogs. And it basically, let me cut out some of it so I can get to the main part, because there's two parts I want to read. Mr. Dawson, the electrician, has kept his job. The drive to distant work sites has doubled his gas bill. Food prices rose sharply last year, and his health insurance premiums have soared. Bet you guys will wish that socialist program of single-payer health care had passed now, right? Instead of the watered-down version that Obama and them passed. Anyway. His monthly expenses has risen by about $400 with the elimination of overtime. It has cost him $200 a month. Food stamps help build the gap. Like many beneficiaries here, Dawson argues that people often abuse the program and is quick to say he is different. While some people choose not to get married, just so they can apply for benefits, he is married, church-going man, who works and owns his home. While some people put piles of steaks in their carts, he will not use the government's money for luxuries like coffee or soda. To me, that is just morally wrong. Morally wrong for people who want. I mean, where are these people? Really, where are you talk about these? Where are they? That sounds, the Tea Party folks, when you think about it, they have a lot of kin to the fascists. Again, to demonize and have scapegoats of people. Not just foreigners, but just poor people and sick people in general. Now listen to this. Okay, this is from another man. Almost as it's a suggestion that food stamps should come with work requirements akin to cash welfare benefits. Some people like to camouflage this by calling it a nutrition program, but it's really no different from cash welfare, said Robert Rector of the Heritage Foundation, who views having a following among conservatives on Capitol Hill. Food stamps is quasi-money. Arguing that the aid discourages work and marriage, Mr. Rector said that food stamps should contain requirements as strict as those placed on cash assistance. The food stamp program is a fossil that repeats all the errors of the war on poverty, he said. No word from Mr. Rector, though, where those jobs are coming from. Yeah, just like when Sean and I talked about the rich are actually, big corporations are actually putting out signs saying, one ads saying the unemployed need not apply. So they can ship jobs overseas, and that way, their rich buddies can charge people, for less money and everything, without any benefits or nothing. So, there you go. And, what gets me is an electrician, folks. An electrician. It used to be 10 years ago an electrician could feed his family, a whole family, a wife and kids and stuff. It's gotten harder for the middle class, but this is really striking because it shows that even middle-class families with two incomes are having to struggle and getting government assistance. This is how bad things are getting because of all this deregulation crap and this so-called corporatist free market garbage. It's sad. And who are the main fundraising people of the Tea Party? Koch brothers. And what is one of the big sins of the Tea Party folks? Socialism. It's evil. It's evil, I tell ya. Listen to this. I would rather live under a bridge than under socialism. Tea bagger slogan. Listen to this. I'm going to put the link up to the site below. Everyone knows that Tea Party revolutionaries fear and hate socialism about as much as the Antichrist. What is funny, because the Tea Party movement's dirty little secret is that it owes its existence to the granddaddy of all Antichrists, the godless empire of the USSR. Listen to this. What few realize is that the secretive oil billionaires of the Koch family, the main sponsors of the right-wing groups that orchestrated the Tea Party movement, would not have the means to bankroll their favorite causes had it not been for the pile of money the family made working for the Bolsheviks in the 1920s and 30s and Joseph Stalin. Building refineries, training communist engineers, and laying down the foundation of Soviet oil infrastructure. The comrades were good to the Kochs. Today, Koch Industries has grown into the second largest private company in America with over a revenue of over $100 billion. The company was just $6.3 billion shy of first place in 2008. Ownership is kept strictly in the family, while the company being split roughly between right-wing brothers Charles and David Koch, who are worth about $20 billion apiece and are infamous as the largest sponsors of right-wing causes, the bankroll sources of free market and libertarian think tanks, institutes, and advocate groups. Reason Magazine, Heritage Foundation, and Cato Institute are just to name a few of the Koch brothers backed free market operations. Greenpeace estimates that the Koch family shelled out $25 million from 2005 to 2008 funding the climate denial machine, which means they outspent ExxonMobil 3-1. So get this. Your heroes, the Koch brothers, Fox Noises buddies. It would not have been for Joseph Stalin and the Bolsheviks. There would be no Tea Party. Think about that one for a second. Does that make you feel good? You're basically, every dollar that they give you is being given by a company that was built from the ground up by communists and Joseph Stalin and the Bolsheviks. Oh man, this is heaven for me. I swear it is. Now I got a good one for you. I'm sorry, folks. I just gotta say this. I mean, laughter is to be had, because every time you people, you right-wing Tea Partiers and libertarians who support the Tea Party movement, every time you go to a rally and hold up a sign of Obama and Joseph Stalin and say Obama Stalin, no. Joseph Stalin helped bankroll your people, the Koch brothers. I mean, for you, like, that was 70 years ago. If it hadn't have been for all those, money they got from the Bolsheviks and stuff, their company may not have survived. Hence, the Tea Party would have just swept under the rug like nobody would have noticed. Who else is raising money for the Tea Party, folks? Get this, a man named Mark Skoda. I got this from NPR from February 19th, 2010. Again, nobody talked about this. But Mark Skoda, folks, is a part of a group called the Ensuing Liberty Political Action Committee. Ensuing Liberty Corp. A tax-exempt 501c4. Now, I took 4 years of high school economic classes and 2 years of college economic classes, and what tax-exempt means is that basically it's going to be, they are going to pay very little to no taxes. And Mr. Skoda is a rich individual. He's a part of the businessman, a forceful president of the National Tea Party scene in Nashville, Tennessee. He's a part of the Memphis Tea Party scene. So, and he said, we made a pledge. As you know, election law allows 501 to raise and recruit funds that allow us to go ahead and encourage people to participate in the PAC, and allow us in a greater latitude in which to execute our strategy. And he made a pledge. We will do that in a systematic way with transparency that is obviously lacking too much of the political process, Skoda said. Get this. And there's no get this, but there's a more complete description fundraising. When they wanted him to give out the list of the some of his donators, didn't give it out. Sorry, I got a little tongue-tied there. I was just reading all of this. But who else? FreedomWorks, headed by former House Majority Leader Dick Armey. About 15 or 20% of its money comes from corporations. Americans for Prosperity, long been rumored by the Koch brothers. David Koch. 5 years ago, my brother Charles and I provided the funds to start the American for Prosperity. So yes, it has been proven that he works for the American Prosperity, the John Birch Society, the Cato Institute, Heritage Foundation, BP. And what do these companies all have in common, folks? For a grassroots movement, you're owned by big corporations. Face it. The tea bagger movement is nothing more than a big wet kiss for big corporations. And you want to weed out the leeches of society, as you call them. The leeches, those nasty poor people and sick people and homeless people and stuff. And everybody's like, homeless? Well, they build homeless shelters and stuff, and that takes money. That's exactly what this is really all about. So that way you can have your lobster 5 nights a week, you can have your 10 houses, and you're like, that's my money, I earned it. Bull crap. The Koch brothers were handed their inheritance. They were handed that company. They didn't build it. So for all this libertarian Tea Party crap, I built it from the ground up. No, you didn't. Unless you're a small business owner who started from the ground up, which, by the way, you get a loan from the bank, which comes from the government. Anyway, you really did not build it by yourself. You did not build it from the ground up. You got help. You were either handed it or you got help. What this is all about is about a hatred of minorities, women, and, just everybody, all minorities and poor. If you're rich and a minority or gay, they might, well, no, not gays, but minority, They'll accept you. Just because if you're a hatred of the poor. But even then you get treated like crap. But the fact is, this is nothing but a bunch of garbage. Wake up. Wake up! When are you going to get it through your thick, fat head that these people don't, for the poor people and the middle-income people who support the Tea Party movement, they don't support you. They don't give a damn about you. If you were to fall over tomorrow, they would care less. Wake up, America. The Tea Party is nothing more than a hate group towards sick and poor people. That's all it is. And it's funded by big corporations, which, by the way, the Koch brothers got their money from Joseph Stalin. Just in case you didn't know. And it's all about keeping the rich richer and drinking the poor, dragging them down into the dirt. And you know that's the truth.